Okay, so what happened yesterday? By the time you're seeing this, what happened yesterday in the NFL late in the evenings? Probably one of the wildest things in a minute as far as news related off the field. Um, man, like imagine going home to your family and telling your spouse you got fired from a job in which you was signed to a 10-year 100 million contract 3 years in, and because of the reason he got fired, he forfeited $70 million. Bro, hear my intro. We have got to talk about this, bro. This is insane. So, I alluded to it in the intro. We're going to be talking about John Gruden and kind of why I feel, as you can see in the title and in the thumbnail, how I already feel about it. But we're going to go into why I feel this way about it. So, first off, what John Gruden did was incredibly stupid. Because emails last forever. Emails last forever. Even if you delete them, people that work with emails that can dig up emails, they'll find it. Emails last forever. And I have a couple things that I feel like got him fired. What's crazy is him bashing DeMaurice Smith, which I believe is the NFL PA rep or the NFLPA president, one of those two. But him bashing DeMaurice Smith and using a very racial tone didn't get him fired. And in fact, he apologized and they were moving on. Like, he literally coached an entire game against my Chicago Bears on Sunday, and that was after those comments leaked. So apparently you can bash minorities and still keep your job in this day and age. Apparently, but I feel like that this is what really got him banned. Because those emails, I'll get into that later. I don't want to get there just yet. But like I said, here's what I feel like really got him in trouble. He started talking crazy about the commissioner. Now, Big Rod wasn't about to let that happen, okay? He was not about to let that happen. The owner was not about to let that happen. He had called him, what was it? Anti-football something. Yeah, it was crazy. Like nah. John Gruden was big wild. That's part of it. Here's why I really feel like got him up out of here. There's two other reasons. One, he started bashing openly gay football players like Michael Sam. And now that I think about it, he probably bashed his own football player in Carl Nassib. You know, because after he got drafted, he came out and said, you know, that he was openly homosexual. And that's got to be a gut punch to the locker room. We can just stop there. That's a gut punch to the locker room. It's one thing to talk crazy about the commissioner, because I'm pretty sure the players do it and do that on their own. It's another thing to talk about minorities, because most of the players in the locker room are of a minority. That's a big issue in itself. But then when one of your own players are lgbtq, and you bash that entire group, and that would include his own player. Like let's be clear, that included his own football player. It's like you're asking for trouble. He was asking for trouble when he did that. I honestly believe that, him talking crazy about, women refs, women coaches would have mattered, but this is the NFL and these are old billionaire white people. It doesn't matter. I hate to say it, but it doesn't, because if it did, the entire reason they even found these emails, there would have been bigger consequences. So let's get into the reason why they even found these emails. Like the NFL. Okay, let me backtrack. So a couple years ago, does everybody still remember that bombshell that dropped about Dan Snyder and the Washington football team, and how they were basically pimping out their own cheerleaders to season ticket holders, shareholders, high up people within the organization? They were basically pimping out their cheerleaders, like having them sit on those higher up people's laps, topless photos, non-consensual videos the cheerleaders had no idea about it, sexual harassment. Like it was insane. It was insane then, it's insane now. And the entire reason these emails even leaked from John Gruden is because the NFL is trying to dig up as much information as they can, as to how bad was the workplace environment that Dan Snyder, Bruce Allen collaborated on, because it's bad. It's bad enough that they are getting sued by the cheerleaders. That is an active lawsuit. That is an active. I believe it's still active. And I also believe Dan Snyder paid about $1.5-2 million to a woman that he sexually harassed at the organization. So yeah, this is some wild shit. And I know I'm paraphrasing a lot, but yeah, but here's where I'm going with this. Because while yes, John Gruden emails were bad, I feel like this is what I know. I said this before, and like the gay player comment, the minorities comment, the women's comment, and then what I'm about to say next, all played a factor into why he resigned yesterday. So John Gruden and Bruce Allen were sharing pictures of the topless cheerleaders to each other back and forth through email. I'm going to repeat that. John Gruden and Bruce Allen, the NFL investigated this and they confirmed that was there. They confirmed this. They were sharing photos of the topless Washington football team cheerleaders back and forth to each other. That's a lawsuit. That's a lawsuit, and potentially that's a crime. like that's bad. Like super bad. But here's where I'm going with this. Where did John Gruden get those photos from? Because I don't believe it was Bruce Allen that gave him them photos from. Where did he get these photos from? And here's what I find real interesting about this whole thing. They weren't even looking at John Gruden when this came about. They were looking towards Dan Snyder. And they said they had found over 600,000 emails that they were just combing through to find stuff. And you mean to tell me the only thing they found noteworthy was John Gruden's emails? Not to who he was talking to, not to nothing, absolute nothing about Dan Snyder, nothing about the Kaepernick stuff. So here's what I find it interesting, that there's going to be a lot more of this coming out, because I just don't buy that they went through all these emails one by one and that was the only thing noteworthy that they found. And if they were able to find that, just from a person not even coaching, he wasn't even coaching at the time. He was at ESPN. If they were able to find that email, I'm pretty sure they were able to find a bunch of different stuff that, unless forced, will never see the light of day. Because think about it. The NFL recently has had one is still active. They had 2 big lawsuits. One, Colin Kaepernick and Eric Reed basically saying the NFL colluded with teams to keep them out of the league. And they had emails. And texts to prove that what they were saying was real. Now the Shield, the NFL cares about their brand. They care about their image and their reputation. When that came out, they knew immediately they had to settle and not let Kaepernick bring that to court. Because if it had got to court, the NFL was done. It was done. I'm pretty sure all 32 owners would have had to sell their teams, because it would have been that bad. Why do you think the NFL settled with Kaepernick? Because those emails were that bad. They were that bad. Those emails are never seeing the light of day. But the fact that they settled with Kaepernick means that they were that bad. The city of St. Louis is suing the NFL and partly the Rams of how, I believe, over the way the Rams left. Because I believe St. Louis had a couple plans to build a new stadium. They were trying to keep the Rams in St. Louis any way possible. And from what I remember, they were just straight up lied to by the NFL. And so, like I said, if they were able to find these emails, I'm pretty sure the situation with St. Louis and the Rams leaving for LA is going to be brought up, and that's probably going to be settled out of court with the promise of a new football team in St. Louis. San Diego was mad at the NFL for a long time. like I'm pretty sure a lot of the scandals had a lot of emails from the owners, from the coaches, from the team perspective, that if those leak, could be really, really bad. Could be bad. So I don't want this to be true, but I feel like Dan Snyder and the owners threw John Gruden to the wolves regarding his email leaks to save Dan Snyder's own ass. Because let's not keep it clear, Dan Snyder is still being sued by all these cheerleaders. He is still being investigated. And the fact they put John Gruden out there means that A, somebody wanted him gone, and B, they're doing it to protect Dan Snyder, because Dan Snyder workplace misconduct, that bombshell article that dropped about them pimping their own cheerleaders that came out to be true. Yeah, if those emails ever leaked, ever saw the light of day, not only would he be forced to sell the team, but just think about it. If Dan Snyder was doing all this, you mean to tell me the other owners didn't know what he was doing? Nobody knew what he was doing? All right. So yeah, I feel like the NFL threw John Gruden to the wolves to cover up Dan Snyder, because the NFL is that damn shady. So let me know what you think about this crazy scenario that dropped yesterday. And I feel like we're at the tip of the iceberg. It's not going anywhere. There's going to be more that comes out from this. Make sure you leave a like and hit that subscribe button for your boy. I'm Cheerleader Gamer. I'm signing out. See you next time in the next video.